Welcome to Life at 10, the podcast that brings you real stories, experiences, and insights from the people who make 10 leaves what it is. I'm your host, Bhumika Arora, and today, once again, I have the pleasure of speaking with Mr. Rohit Ghai. Welcome to the show, Rohit sir.
Thank you, Bhumika. Once again, yes, because I guess the more of this I do, and the other employees also wake up and say, okay, I also want to be on the podcast.
Yes, I think the last episode that we recorded was very inspiring. And almost so many people from the team got back to me saying that, yes, even I want to do this, and just tell us how and when. So it was quite exciting and inspiring at the same time.
Good. I hope to hear many more of Life at 10 experiences from others as well.
Yes, and I hope to record them with our team members soon. Okay. So Rohit sir, while we were talking last time, you kept emphasizing on learning. Like every time we have a conversation, your focus, remains on learning, how you can learn from whatever you're doing, something old, something new. So, what do you exactly mean by, keep on learning? I think that's your favorite phrase. So, what exactly do you mean by that, keep on learning?
Yeah, I mean, it's my favorite thing to do. And
Mm-hmm.
I truly believe that, life is one long learning journey, right? You, I mean, it sounds cliched to some, but it's actually true. All your life, what you earn actually is learning, learning from experiences, learning education, learning to be a better person, learning to do things better, differently. It's one long journey of learning. You start when you're, when you're hardly, when you start and you open your eyes and you start learning. You start copying when you're a baby, when you're a toddler. You start copying your parents. You start looking at uh, who's around you, trying to come out with sounds. Then you get into kindergarten and they start teaching you on various things. So you're, from the time you're an infant till the time you die. I believe that's one constant which takes you through life. So unfortunately, what ends up happening is, in somewhere in the middle of, not middle, very early in this journey, actually, the education system puts you into a container and locks it up and throws away the key. So you tend to start not learning but just reading, or trying to get more marks and pass a test, and
Hmm.
your focus becomes that. The joy of discovering goes out of the equation, right? And a
True.
lot of
Yeah.
great things have happened while discovering. I mean, um, come cut to today, when the education system, at least in the East, is based on how many marks can I score, and that
Hmm.
again is based on certain aspects. So it's rote learning, and rote learning is not bad. Rote learning is good in many contexts, but here it takes out the joy of learning. One, it takes out the concept of learning, and you forget down the line how to learn in the first place. So your only thing is, oh, open a book, get study the right bits, get the marks, and go to the next book, and soon enough forget the book you read.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
that, and as and when you go through this journey, when you are at the let's say the end of it, in undergraduate degree, postgraduate, wherever you stop, by that time most people are already tired, bored, frustrated with this learning process. They said just want to get out of it, get a job, and start life, as they
Yes,
say.
yes. You want to have a monotonous life where you know what you're supposed to do. No more exploring. Just
No
keep
more
doing
exploring,
it.
on no more
Hmm.
books,
Hmm.
no more tests, no more exam. That
बिल्कुल.
whole, I mean, if you turn it on its head, the best part of your life is actually that time when you're learning and discovering. But it's made in such a way that it becomes the worst part in many cases, where you have to
Hmm.
struggle to get through it. And finally, when you get your best marks, you say, wow, I'm done now. I have a best good job and I'm well paid, and I get on with my life. So that's where the learning stops. You think that over a period of 16, 18, 20 years, whatever you've learned becomes a repository for knowledge, and it's kind of a treasure chest where you keep taking out bits and pieces and get paid for it. That's what's called a salary, right? So,
Right.
and then yeah, you have incremental pieces of learning. Many professional uh, streams, they have this continuous CPD, continuous professional development, which is again bits and pieces of learning. But our concept still remains the same. We still want to have a book. We want to have a PowerPoint presentation. We want to have someone sitting in the room with us, or standing and explaining to a group of people, and we take notes. 90% of
Mm.
all trainings I see, when I observe, I see everyone comes in with a book. That book is of no use, because no, they write maybe the initial 5-10 minutes, they write down some points or whatever, and then after some time that also stops. And once the training is finished, they sign off, they have a signature form or whatever to show that they've done the training, and that page gets torn off and folded neatly and never seen again.
Yes, very
That's
true.
that's
Very
how
true.
most of the learning happens. So
Hmm.
any power any
It
training
stays
you take,
shut inside a book. Yeah.
sometimes it doesn't even stay there, and
Yeah.
and then you get that PowerPoint day, and very very what do you say, religiously the person says, can I have the PowerPoint after the presentation? I need that PowerPoint, I need the training material. That gets sent to your email, you open it once and you forget about it, and that gets relegated to the dustbin of history. Anyways, so that's been our learning way process. Even now,
Hmm. Hmm.
we stop discovering. So I don't like it that way. I personally believe whatever we've done in 10 years, and whatever we've done as whatever I've done till now, is all because I've been open to learning, and
Hmm.
I'm open to learning new things and unlearning old things. And unlearning old
Hmm.
things is equally important, especially in the days where technology is threatening to overtake what we thought is very sacred, and what do you say,
Yeah.
let's say, untouchable, which is our knowledge. So our whole life we've been earning from our knowledge, and now that knowledge seems to be under threat, wherein all of a sudden you have technology which is able to do much faster, much better work than not you but hundred of you.
Hmm.
How do you
Yeah, or
how do you
maybe more.
compete in
Hmm.
well, yeah, so how do you compete in this kind of a scenario? What do you have in your virtual arsenal that you can take out and say, okay, here's my answer to that?
Hmm.
At
Hmm.
present, it doesn't seem like, because we have forgotten how to learn. We've forgotten how to read. Like I told you guys last time, I think I told you on the podcast, we have this 50 dirhams per month reading allowance for everybody. Till today, one person has claimed it once.
Oh.
And that's 50
Hmm.
dirhams per month for every employee to go buy books. That's it. Very simple. Go buy books worth up to 50 dirhams. We sponsor that. When we give
Hmm.
money, and
Hmm.
still people are not able to read. So,
Right.
and and now you have AI, which is you're able to take a 200-page report or
Hmm.
100-page report and say, give me the gist of this, and boom, it gives you the gist. Nice, very good, very helpful, very
Yeah.
efficient. But
Yeah.
now you are not able to read that 10-page or 20-page memo also, because you don't have
Hmm.
patience, right? So
Right.
how are you going
Right.
to learn something? How are you going to break things down? How are you going to look? So that's what I mean. We've had this informally that we've always like learning and all, but I think somewhere down the line, last year or the year before that, I said, let's make that a tagline somewhere, because we got to keep reminded of this. We got to keep ourselves reminded that this is what our journey is all about. So when we get into a job, when we're taking up, can be compliance, can be corporate, can be admin, can be anything. When you wake up
Hmm.
in the morning, are you excited about doing something, or are you going to tick a box, get a salary, come back, tick a box again? Is that
Yes.
is
Yes.
that your
Hmm.
life is it going to be is your life going to be centered around that? So keep on learning is not just a tagline, it's a way of working. And the way of working says that whatever you have in front of you, can you improve upon that? You have certain set of tools, you have certain tasks. Can you break it down and forget about what has been done before? Just because it's been done the same way for 20 years doesn't make that the best way to do it, or the most exciting way to do it, or you got to break it down, as they say, to first
Hmm.
principles. The concept of first principles. If you don't, I'll explain.
No.
1 minute.
No.
Okay.
No. Yeah.
So that's a
Hmm.
more physics and a math thing, saying that you
Hmm.
got to break it down to its most elemental form, and look at it and
Okay.
see whether you can build it differently. Let's take a Lego box. Okay, a box of
Okay.
Legos. You can
Hmm.
make it into a house. But then
Right.
first principle says, can you just? That's not the only thing you can do with those Lego blocks, right? But it's
Hmm.
always been made
Hmm.
a house. Okay, great. Let's make a house. Okay, no, let's break it down back into Legos, and let's see how we
Hmm.
can recombine differently. Can we do this in a better way, using lesser Legos, can more logos or whatever?
Hmm.
Um, so a lot of people use this. I mean, Elon Musk did it very famously for SpaceX. Imagine
Okay.
making a rocket company. If I tell you tomorrow, Bhumika, I'm going to make a rocket company, you say you're stupid. You can't do that. I mean, where's the money? Where's this? Where's that? You don't know anything about
Right.
rockets.
Hmm. Hmm.
He
Hmm.
sat. He studied
Hmm.
books. He he broke it down to first principles. And why is making a rocket so costly? Why can't the rocket be reused? Who thought of reusing a
Hmm.
rocket? This a rocket is nice.
Right.
Went into space. Bye bye. No, he broke
Yeah.
it down. He said, okay,
Uh,
let's break it back. And so he's able to do it at 1/10, 1/20th the cost because he broke it down to the simple elements and questioned the position of each element in that structure. So when you have a
hmm.
process, when you have something you're doing, break it down and question the requirement of each part of that process in the structure and say, is this really needed, or am I doing this because it's been done this way?
But I'm sorry, I'm interrupting you, Rohit. But I
No,
have a question. Like for someone who's going smooth with their career, and they are getting appreciations and they are getting increments and promotions. So for a person like that, where will this need, how does this need generate? Like, how would they know that they've stopped learning actually? They're just following what they are doing every day. ये कैसे कैसे आएगा ये आपके अंदर that you've stopped learning?
well, because if you're doing the same thing every day for 10 years, you actually have stopped learning, right? You have not improved upon
Hmm.
anything.
Hmm.
You've not, I mean, see, it's a need of the hour because of some challenges, but let's say who is happy just doing the same thing again and again and again. At some point you may be even making a lot of money, but it gets very boring, right? At some point, even a chef,
Hmm.
for
Hmm.
instance, you're making the same food. No, it doesn't. I mean, the fantastic chefs, what they do, they keep changing the menu. No,
Right.
because the of course it's a business thing as well, but more importantly, you can't make the same thing again and again and be as excited. uh, can you, let's say for instance, look at your current job, and say, what if I get disrupted, right? What if someone
Hmm.
else comes and does it better? What if a technology comes and does it 10 times better? Where do I stand? Can I now learn a new trade? No, can I? I can't. I don't know. I mean, that's a question you ask yourself, and then you say, can I read a book? Can I take a subject and know all about it, even if I don't know anything about it today? And sometimes it
Hmm.
feels, oh, why do I need to do all of this, right? Why do I need to
Hmm.
study something new? But then that why will be answered very fast, unfortunately, and you'd be stuck at the crossroads not knowing what to do, because now I don't have the tools to even learn.
Hmm.
So I
Right.
I mean, um the beauty about working in a place like 10 Leaves, or what we're trying to create, is we don't want to do the same thing the way it's been done before, not because we just want to change it for the heck of it, for the sake of it. No, we're
Hmm.
changing
Hmm.
it because we want to see, can we make it more efficient? Can we make it more nice and beautiful, packaged? A report, compliance report is
Hmm.
it's a nice report, but it looks absolutely bad. I mean, I see the report. I'm like, what's wrong with this? Who can read this?
Hmm.
It does it have, is it like a report issued by the Big Four? Now you say, why do we waste so much time and effort? It's a report. Yeah, so nice. It
Hmm.
looks nice and beautiful. Why does anyone package anything which you buy very nicely? You can just keep
Hmm.
it in your hand.
Hmm.
Here's an iPhone for you. No, they package it well. You have a whole, you know, I guess there's no statistic around this, but I guess 90% of people don't throw the iPhone boxes because you
Yeah,
just
I
feel
don't.
it's not many people do.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just that, oh my god, it's so bad. I don't want to throw the box. It's absolutely useless. The phone's dead
Hmm.
long back, but I feel
Yeah.
it's a kind of a crime throwing that box because it's
Hmm.
beautiful. If it came in a
Yeah.
brown box which is a pudgy, not shaped, you'd have thrown it in the first instance.
True.
So
Hmm.
when you package things well, when you think, there's a lot of experience around a lot of things. uh,
Hmm.
and people pay for experiences. The most the costliest of things are experiences. They are not. If you take something, you go to shop in a high end store, a medium end store, and a low end store. What differentiates it is not the price of the good itself; it's the experience what you get.
Correct. Very
So,
true. Very true. Mm.
so and we are in the service industry. We have to see how we can craft a better experience. Our proposals are digital. Uh,
Mm.
we started that 4 years, 5 years back, and everyone's still at
Mm.
PDF. I'm like, PDF? What can you do with a PDF? It's dead. Why are we
Mm.
sending PDFs across to everybody? Why are we sending
Mm.
a monthly report, a monthly update on what happened in the past month? Yes, you had a relevant update on the 3rd of Jan, but very religiously you would have that update communicated to you on the 30th of Jan, just because we're sending a monthly update. No, it's news.
Mm.
So that's why we're building a media company. So I mean, yeah, some things may not work out. Well, let's be fair. I mean, it's not like every idea works out. Google has a lab of sorts where they build new products. Some of them work, many of them don't. They just shut it down. But the point is, at least you worked on it. You found something. Some worked and improved the process. Yes, let's go on with it. Some, yeah, tried your best, didn't work. Not the best time. Maybe it's
Mm.
absolutely rubbish. Who knows? But at least you tried. You learned something new. You found a new way to do things, or you found a new way not to do things.
So
So
maybe
it's
I think
mm,
unlearning a few things also leads to learning. I mean, I remember when I used to record these podcasts earlier, I used to sit with a script.
mhm.
And one of the sessions before we started recording, you told me throw that script away. And I was all nervous. I was like, "Abhi kaise karna hai ye? I don't have my script ready. What am I going to talk?" And the day I did it without the script, I think I sound much better. I sound confident. And then I enjoy doing this. I'm not doing something that asked to do. I'm doing something willingly and I'm learning so much out of this. I'm and uh, funnily I'm paying more attention to what you are saying. पहले शायद कई बार ये हो जाता था कि मैं पॉज करके आधी बात सुन नहीं पाती थी बिकॉज आई वाज फोकसिंग ऑन द स्क्रिप्ट. So I
Absolutely.
unlearned that thing that मुझे पढ़ के बोलना है. And then now when I listen to this podcast that we record, it sounds natural. It sounds like a conversation, and I myself want to listen to what we've spoken about. So unlearning has helped me learn a new thing.
Yeah, absolutely. And the people who can't learn are the ones who can't unlearn really. Because classic
Hmm.
example, today I was sitting in office and we took up a compliance manual, and one of the compliance officers said, I told them, have you updated this? They said yes. I opened it
Hmm.
and then we looked at it and we said, okay, why is it still done this way? Can't we take this out? Can we take this out? Can we take this out? Now,
Hmm.
it's not that they're not competent. It's just that, oh, why do we need to do- can why do we need to do it in a different way? Or if we do it in a different way, will it rob the essence? Will DFSA come back and say, oh, this is not a proper compliance manual? I said,
Hmm.
what's the harm in trying? What's the harm in really doing
Correct.
it the way that everyone understands, rather than satisfying something,
The
or
norms.
getting,
Hmm. Hmm.
yeah,
Hmm.
getting afraid of changing status quo and things like that.
Hmm.
Throw it
Hmm.
out. You
Hmm.
you focus on. And are you enjoying reading that manual? No one enjoys reading the manual because it's so verbose. It just goes on and on and on. And the funny part is, in every regulated firm there is a sign off done when the new employee joins saying, I've read the compliance manual. I'm like, I don't think so. I don't think anyone's read that manual the way it's supposed to be read. People just take that sign off because it's part of that whole ticker box approach. But if you
Very true. I don't think
genuinely,
people read manuals. Most
no
people
one reads
don't.
manual. You don't
Hmm.
read your own
Hmm.
manual. If you have an HR
बिल्कुल.
manual, I'm not telling you that you're not competent enough, because you have to stuff it with so many things
Yeah.
over there. You're like, I don't. It's not enjoyable to me.
Right.
Why,
Right.
why do you have to do something which is not enjoyable to you? You said you had a script before. I'm saying next time you want to meet a friend, go with a script. It's not going to be the
Hmm.
same, right?
बिल्कुल
you
नहीं. Very true.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
why do you have a script? Why are we
Hmm.
afraid and nervous of? Because we've been taught to perform. We've been taught that results matter, and that's why we are all like, oh my god, if I don't have a script, I will not
And
sound well. If I don't sound
before,
well, Hmm?
right, right, sorry. Yes, yeah.
Bolo,
I
bolo,
just got
before.
very excited. I was saying that, before anyone else judges you, you are ready to judge yourself. You are ready to, हाँ, इसमें ठीक किया, इसमें नहीं किया, ऐसे किया तो ठीक किया. So we end up doing that.
Because
And I
exam
think that's where
situation,
that,
same
very
in
true.
exam situation, everything is performance, everything is all about getting high marks. No one's experiencing the whole thing. No one's learning physics. Everyone's trying to find how I can get A plus in physics. अरे यार physics is
Hmm.
so interesting. ठीक है यार, you're sitting on a planet right now revolving at thousands of miles an hour. It's like a ball which is revolving, and you're not turning.
Uh,
Doesn't that amaze you? Like, wow. I was reading a book the other day on how we came to be, and how you are Bhumika because at some point there is your father and your mother who are there's only one combination of Bhumika. So you could have
hmm.
multiple combinations of, but one combination resulted in you, which is Bhumika. Now that combination is dependent not just on your father and mother, also dependent on your grandparents and so on and so forth. So
Right.
all of those, and then there's a insane amount of permutations and combinations on that bit, and that's just you, right? Now for Earth to
Right.
exist, all the forces
Hmm.
had to be, or the universe to exist for that matter. A lot of forces had to be in Goldilocks kind of situation, not too much, not too less. So we have come through like combination of a gazillion chances, and that all of that has resulted in one person here and one person here talking to each other. This itself is so amazing. But what are we sitting and getting an A plus in physics for? Why don't you look at this itself? And this itself is a beauty, on understanding or learning how amazing nature is, how amazing. Where is all that in lost in that whole classification of botanical plants? And no, nobody
Hmm.
is excited about that. Instead, you find out how plants came to be, how plants differ and amaze, why were plants named this way. That's the exciting bit. So we have been taught to perform, we have been taught to give results. And I remember I told you, I don't care if anyone hears the podcast. Why?
Hmm.
Why
Yeah.
we care? We are
Yes.
enjoying it. I'm feeling. I look forward. Wednesday 5 o'clock. Come on, no problem. And you look
Hmm.
forward to it. Hopefully, there are some other people who look forward to it. If they don't, I don't care because I'm
Right.
learning something new. I bought a mic. I bought this headset. I downloaded some software. I kind of understood. You understood how to mix stuff. You understood how to make it more
Hmm.
efficient. How to post it on multiple platforms. ठीक है यार, if 5 people hear it or 50 people hear it, what difference does it make? I'm not Shah Rukh Khan, you're not any kind of person. Who cares? And as long
Yeah.
as you enjoy it, get it done. Put it out there in the world.
Hmm.
People will listen to it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we should just, stop killing that curiosity in a person. Like while you were saying this, I was just kind of, analyzing that when my daughter asks me some kinds of questions. She's just 5 years old, and she has so many questions. And then, especially while she's doing her homework or something, and I just ask her to focus on the method. कि ऐसे होता है, आप ऐसे ही करोगे. Now I don't listen to her questions. I don't even address them. तो मुझे लगता है that curiosity dies there. And then that
Half the
learning
time
would
we don't know
stop.
the answer,
She's,
no?
हाँ,
Half the time you
maybe.
don't know the answer.
Yes,
Because
yes.
we
She she
why
she
we
tells me, she sometimes tells me कि मम्मा आपको नहीं पता है तो you can just check your phone. And I feel so embarrassed. I really feel embarrassed,
because
but then that's what it is.
yeah. So we should, and we end up killing that in our children also. तो अपने का तो हो गया. We are
Hmm.
okay. We've lost our bit, and now we focus
We are
because
doing the
now life is
same.
a race.
Yeah.
Life is a race.
Hmm.
Mr. Sharma ji, beta, all that, you know the story. So that
Correct.
that thing I want to change, and if you change, your kids change because you would, and you can in your own small way effect a change in a small ecosystem, and hopefully that grows bigger and bigger, and you have done your bit,
Yeah, I
and that's
think
what it
you
matters,
can. Yeah. Hmm. Hmm.
So
At
that's the
least
whole
घर
point
से
of
you
this.
can start. Yeah. Yeah. This is right. Right. I think
Mm.
I've learned a lot ये इस podcast में. So, like you correctly say, keep on learning. And now we have those mugs also. We say the same.
We have those mugs also to make you remember, and that's only 5 dirhams a mug. So if
Uh,
anyone's interested, she's not a plug for a mug. Hey, that rhymed also. No plug for a mug.
yeah. All
If
right. All right.
you learn more, you can get a
Mhm,
jug.
right.
Really
So,
good.
yes. Nahi, just any last thing you want to say before we end this, wrap this up?
I just say, uh, become curious, and that's what the world is. I mean, half our lives we spend walking blindly through everything. You go for a walk, you're on your phone. You don't look out what's
Hmm.
happening around you. You you go with you sit with your kid to teach them something, but you're not teaching them. You're telling them, do it this, like you said. You're not
Right. Hmm.
encouraging them to explore. You're not exploring yourself. You go to your office, you're expected to do something, you just do that and you come back. How is this on auto tune? I mean, this is like the difference between living and existing and all of that, right? So
Hmm.
find, if
Hmm.
you're curious, then life opens up in ways that you never knew. You look at something and say, how is this made? Oh, I bought a new I bought a new table. How is this made? How is the joint made here? Oh, this is this way. I didn't know that things happen this way. It may sound silly that, oh, why am I looking at a table? But everything, it becomes a habit on seeing new things and trying to find out more about anything. And if you can cultivate that habit, no AI can disrupt you, because
Hmm.
you would know how to unlearn the old, learn the new, and position yourself in a way that you can address whatever challenge is thrown at you. And if you can't do that, then unfortunately, you may reach a point wherein you find you're not able to use your current knowledge and you're not able to gain any more new knowledge. And I don't wish that on anybody.
Hmm. Right. Wow. I will listen to this again. And actually, I now I feel that it's time for some introspection, and it's very important because like I was asking you, because कई बार नहीं पता चलता, you don't know that you've stopped learning. Only at these small conversations or maybe while doing something you realize that you need to start exploring. You need to have that curiosity back in you. But yes, that was a great conversation, Rohit. I had fun, and I hope the listeners get something out of this. If we are able to, if we are able to inspire our team to think about this, I think our job here is done. So thank
Absolutely.
you so much. Yes, yes. And that brings us to the end of this episode of Life at 10. Hearing Mr. Rohit Ghai speak so openly about this journey, his lessons learned, and the growth that comes from both his wins and challenges is a reminder that every experience at 10 leaves adds to a larger purpose. I hope all of us keep on learning and the learning never stops. Until next time, this is Bhumika Arora, signing off from Life at 10. Stay curious, stay inspired.